Okay. Hi everyone. Good afternoon. My name is Eric, and I'll be the host for today's. Uh, okay. I'll be the host for today's discussion panel. Okay. So this session would be combination. Yeah. Combination panel for the of the OpenStreetMap community topics in each different community. So first, I will first introduce our speakers of today. So first one is Taro Matsuzawa-san. Okay, okay. So he's the director of OSM Foundation of Japan and also OpenStreetGeo Japan, and also the Japan sub-president of Japan Unix Society. Okay, and then the second one would be Dennis from the left side. So he's in charge of the Wikimedia Taiwan and also participating in the OpenStreetMap and and the Wikidata community in Taiwan also. And then third one is CK Hong. Okay, so he is the community contributor here in Taiwan. And then the fourth speaker is Faye Endao, and she is involved in GeoLadies and Youth Map project, and also humanitarian OpenStreet team project locally. So in I think the Philippines. Yeah. Okay. So today we'll talk about a little bit about the activities each happening in each country's community, and activities and the culture, and how the community events are run. So first we'll start with a little bit of the summary of the OpenStreet development in each country, how it's been formed. So maybe you can start with Taro.
So summary of development OpenStreetMap in my country is in 2008. So we start the mapping with GPS, and 2010 so OpenStreetMap Foundation Japan launched, and 2011 so we have a big earthquake and happen. So and so it about disaster mapping, it's a big chance to grow community. So yeah, so the time is reach to global community. So and so we still import data, so big data in Japan's local companies and local government, and also so we have a settlement map event, so global and local event. So we host some conferences. So this is our status. Okay.
Then I'll start as the second one. I'll just summarize about something I didn't mention during my talks, that Taiwan is quite good at the hiking trails data in Taiwan. And if you know about Taiwan, we didn't have any commercial provider for those hiking trails. So the hikers had to do it yourself, and they choose to contribute to OpenStreetMap. So if you have some spare time, maybe you can go hiking somewhere. Maybe it's too dangerous to go.
Okay, just 1 second. Sorry.
Okay, maybe it's too dangerous to go directly to Jade Mountains or Snow Mountains, but if you use some offline map data, maybe you can install organic maps or OSM end that you can use the data contributed by the OpenStreetMap the contributors to have a look at the Elephant Mountains or other mountains, hills next to it. And I think it's quite convenient if you just decide to have 1 or 2 hours hiking trails using OpenStreetMap data. That's my part.
Okay.
Okay. So for the Philippines, as mentioned during my presentation, as early as 2009, there were volunteers or more of hobbyist mappers in the country. But through time, especially when typhoons started hitting the country more often, there are volunteers that help the OpenStreetMap Philippines and eventually become a regular part of the community. So over time, the community in terms of numbers was also increased, and also the growth of OpenStreetMap data around 2014 also started to increase as well. So it's both in terms of the community, and also the map data has tremendously grown over the years.
Okay, thank you.
Second question?
Yeah. Okay.
Go next.
So okay, sure. Okay, and next we'll talk a little bit about the what's the most common usage of OpenStreetMap in each country and each community, and such as for example, such as draw mapping and crisis mapping, like Faye talked about. In typhoon or earthquake and things like that, and also hiking trail mapping and similar topics. So yeah, please.
So one country is, has many disaster, and crisis mapping is most important things usage. And but I think the casual user uses the casual application with OpenStreetMap data, like game, Dragon Quest Walk, or some games so uses OpenStreetMap data now, because the Mapbox provides some SDK. So I think the casual user is so in my country it uses the OpenStreetMap data between through game application.
Okay, or like Pokemon Go and things like that. Oh, okay.
Okay, for Taiwan, I already mentioned the hiking parts, and I think it's quite enormous and quite good quality compared to other, except other POIs mappings, or we didn't have a very crisis mapping here in Taiwan because the government done it all well and good, so we didn't have this kind of usage cases. Yeah.
Okay, I just want to make up a little bit and maybe a question to Dennis. Is that okay?
Yeah.
Okay. So I hike. I just retired last year, so I hike a lot. And the website that Dennis mentioned is Hiking BG. That's 践行笔记. In Chinese, that's 践行笔记. So if you just use the name of a hiking trail to search, most likely you will land in that website. So I use that a lot personally, and also many people who don't even know OpenStreetMap also use that. The question I have is that the XML file, if you want to download the XML file, you have to do something, login or something, and now it's even more than that. So I'm not sure that. So
they're building a wall.
Yeah, that's the part I'm not very sure about. And then personally, I use UMap a lot. That's a project from France. I use that to create a lot of personal maps, as well as using it for some of my project, such as potluck map, as I mentioned. So that's that's what I personally use. But to be honest, I'm not that much involved in the community, so that's about it.
Okay. So for us in the Philippines, obviously it's crisis mapping because we are in the Pacific belt, so a lot of typhoons enter or hit the Philippines. So we have humanitarian projects related to earthquakes, to flooding, to volcanic eruptions, and so on. But more recently, there are also contributors that are more into mapping their advocacies. So for example, women's spaces or safe spaces for the LGBTQ community. So we really appreciate that OpenStreetMap for us is not just for humanitarian purposes, but it can be of more personal for the contributors.
Okay, thank you. All right, next topic would be from the from user's experience. What are each speaker's view on the advantage or disadvantage of using the OpenStreetMap data set? Okay, so please share.
User, I'm a developer. So
Yes.
as a
Okay.
developer, advantage is we can create wheelchair map or brightness or map for brightness with routing application with using PG routing. PG routing, yes, PostGIS extensions.
So more in the software.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we can you create the custom map for this advantage. Has a
Routine process.
routing application, and so custom users, and so OpenStreetMap data is many attribution or support the custom users.
Mm-hmm.
So that is advantage, and disadvantage is dataset can't design for terrain data.
Terrain data.
Yeah. So but the new map library tile format will support terrain data well. So I think if I don't think so. OpenStreetMap data set don't store the terrain data, but the tile format can enable to store the terrain data. So it's cover. We can cover the data set disadvantage.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so it can help.
Yeah.
To
I'll let professional talk first about Taiwan situation, and then make some supplement comments.
Okay. Actually, again, that I can only speak for myself mostly because I'm not so much involved. So I don't actually download OpenStreetMap data directly, even though I program. The closest thing to downloading data is I have a blog post about downloading PBF data. That's the closest thing I ever did. Most of the time, I just use the well-built applications or websites for doing interesting things, and I wouldn't think about doing these things in using Google Maps, for example, because it's too restrictive, and also it's not so much. In OpenStreetMap world, you have many people building on top of the underlying data sets, and you can, as what they say, standing on the shoulders of the giants. So most often I don't even need to program myself. If I ever do programming, I'm just doing patching work, like what I did in this previous talk. I'm here, where are you? That kind of thing. So I would say the good thing about OpenStreetMap is you can do a lot of things. You can do very wonderful things without even writing a lot of code, because there are so many existing applications built on top of OpenStreetMap that you don't even have to write them. And that's the best advantage I see from using OpenStreetMap.
Okay, because this is a more developer conference, so I will complain about the API of OpenStreetMap. And if you know that OpenStreetMap, if you search something like a Chinese address in the search bar, you can't find anything. Even though I already imported so many addresses in the OpenStreetMap. And you know that if you know the specific API name is a nominating, that's a Latin verb, and you have to follow the Western language guide, language grammar, to spell city with a space or comma, and otherwise you can't find anything for Chinese address. And it is every time I have a tech talk in the economic syndicate, I have to remind all these students, intern students, to say, you have to first spit the address, otherwise you will find nothing on OpenStreetMap. That's my part of complaint. I already phrased the hiking part, so this is the advantage and disadvantage in Taiwan.
Oh, can I? Sorry. Sorry, I want to. So as a user, I use OSM and or organic map a lot. And when I want to do searches, that's really a headache. I cannot use it to find utilities or those things. I mean, you can see it on the map, and strangely, you cannot find it with the search functions. I never tried to figure out why. So that's something that probably prevents users from stepping into the OpenStreetMap world quite a lot, at least for the UTF-8 using people.
Thank you. Those were very interesting answers. But one of the advantages as a simple user of Download is that OpenStreetMap data, of course, can be downloadable. And there are, as mentioned by Professor, there are already applications that have been developed so that users can easily download the data in GIS format, like ShapeFast, like JSON, etc. So that's one of the advantages of OSM review. And in terms of disadvantages, despite it being open, there are also cases when OpenStreetMap data is not updated, especially in the remote areas where mappers have been limited also in that part of the community. So there are certain gaps that the community also has to fill in. So I think on top of many of those, just some parts. Of course, we can mention a lot.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Oh, because do you have batteries? Do you have batteries? No. We don't. Oh, okay. Right. Okay. Next one. Okay. Next question. Next topic. We'll talk about how the local community events are being organized, and is there any regular meetups or conference held by each local community? Okay. And we'll start with Tarusa.
Yeah. So, in my community, in my presentation, I introduce Mappy Hour. It's a per week event, and so in online, and so it is a good opportunity to come newcomer. Because it is only so Slack communities in Slack channel, and we talk about mapping the result and share the result, and Yeah, so and so if some problem is happened, so you can ask easily. So because Slack is so the communication channel is very low cost for and no barrier because only text chat. So it is good uh, communication in my community. That's all.
Okay, in Taiwan, we have a monthly meetup co-host with Wikidata community, but we also have some problem because outside of Taipei, we couldn't host any events because we can't gather enough people. There was a Kaohsiung meetup, but unfortunately, one mapper has come to Taipei for work, and other mappers is busy for his own day job. So the Kaohsiung meetup is no longer available right now. And we also have some issue about gender, about some generation gap, because we have lack of the more younger contributors. And we hope that if we help FEA to help universities to found the chapters, young map chapters, maybe you can make the community more diverse. Yeah, that's my opinion.
Well, if we talk about this like 2 years ago, I would try to do that within the university. But now, since I'm retired, I can only pass on.
In the Philippines, once a year we hold a conference called Pista ng Mapa or Festival of Maps. It's like a local version of State of the Map. So we hold it annually, and usually the Mappers chapters lead the event. But in terms of regular meetups, we try as much as possible to hold those kinds of events. But right now, we specifically rely on youth mappers chapters because they are a very organized group, so they can start any activity that they want and then just invite the greater community to be part of those kinds of events. So that's how OSM Philippines usually work.
Okay, thank you. Okay, next topic we will talk about how to from each speaker, what's being done or from the past experience, what do you think was your suggestion to keep the member in each community to keep them to be involved and more motivated to edit or to contribute.
I talked about Makiawa. As Makiawa is one of the keep motivated active my community motivated programs and but we organize State of the Map Japan event. It's another the way to motivate our community to keep motivated because if after COVID-19, so we host State of the Map event in local region, but over 100 people comes.
Oh, you mean one event?
Yeah.
Over 100 people?
Over 100 people
Yeah.
comes.
Oh.
And okay, so it is so small event, but
Yes.
so it is
Sorry, hold on. Okay, peace.
it is very so Japan.
Mhm.
So, so I think to keep organize so regular event.
Regular.
Is,
Okay.
to keep the good way to keep motivate our community.
Okay, for Taiwan's community, we have a quite hard time to recruit or attract enough people here for some on-site event. For example, today, you might have, before you come to join this panel, maybe you have some difficulties to choose which panel or track do you want to attend. The same apply for those who want to contribution. Maybe their interests, both interests in various topics, but they can only choose one because they only have, every day they only have 24 hours, so they have to choose one. And maybe they will choose one is more related to the work related, to their future career part. So right now I'm more eager to engage with by the on-site community channels like Facebook, Telegram, or other kinds of the social media platforms to at least to keep activities online and make the editing that's still going on, even though you don't show up doing some on-site events or some meetup times. And also I also am involved in the international connections. I'll go to conference to talk about OpenStreetMap, like State of Map or State of Map Asia, to have some connections, and maybe we can do some international collaboration projects with each other.
This is yeah. Okay. Can we
Yes.
show that?
Yes, sure.
tab, please?
Yeah.
So I
Okay.
have.
Oh, yeah.
I'm not, as I said, I'm not much involved with the community, but I have some ideas, and I would draw experiences from me advocating for Linux like 20 years ago. So when I try to tell people why you should use free software, GNU Linux in particular, I didn't just talk to people who are interested in computers. At that time, one thing I did was trying to tell people that you can boot up any computer in the world with a USB flash drive. That's what I did. And then I would try to talk to people who travel a lot, for example. They may not be particularly interested in free software in Linux, but the thing that Linux could do, but Windows could not, might attract those people, and that's my approach. So in that regard, I would say something, can we move it a little bit?
Yeah, it kind of froze. It's kind of stopped moving. Yeah.
Oh,
Okay.
that's already the
Oh,
okay.
okay.
Thank you.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
So I was thinking, if we want to get more people into the OpenStreetMap world, maybe we would. No. Can you
Oh,
see
down.
that?
Okay,
Thank
sorry.
you. Maybe we should not focus only on the more difficult things. Maybe we can look at the easier things. For example, I only learned of every door recently. I never used it before. And I realized that with every door, you don't even have to do this ID editing or JLSM editing. So that has a very low bar of entry, and maybe we can target some groups of people, for example, handicapped people, right? Handicapped people may not be really interested in OpenStreetMap per se, but if we tell them that you can help build a map where the restaurants or amenities having accessibility, you can make that information available to your community, then they may be interested. And they don't have to learn ID or JLSM. They could just use every door to do that. And similarly, for example, I don't know, LGBT groups who might be interested in certain kinds of stores or different groups of people. You know, we go out from people who are we are not just focusing on the local community of the OSN people, but go out to other groups. That's what I think a direction where we might try next. Yeah, thank you.
Okay, thank you. Okay, and this here.
So for
Yes,
us in the
yes.
Philippines, our community has grown. Our one of our challenges is to how the community will be sustainable, especially in the future. So it was good that Nico talked about the initiatives of the Open Mapping Hub because they provide Open Mapping Hub Asia Pacific is one of the organizations that provide continuous support to our matters. For example, being involved in the open guru network, open mapping guru network would involve providing incentives and more opportunities and collaborations with other groups. So one observation I've had as part of the Youth Matters network is that students tend to volunteer more or contribute more if they know that there are benefits for them as well to be able for them to grow their personal and also their professional growth. So providing recognition, providing benefits like funding opportunities as well to their chapter is one of the motivations that they have as a contributor to the network. So I think it helps a lot if there are resources made available for these groups of individuals because we are just volunteers, right? So it's very hard to sustain that kind of group, especially those students who also have academic responsibilities. So at least for them, they can see what they could benefit from out of the community to the OpenStreetMap network.
Okay, thank you. Okay, next topic, I think we'll talk about and discuss about, is there any practices or any comments you have on the international or collaboration projects? Or like OSM mapping workshops to motivate local members and people or new members that's coming in.
In my case, I keep to keep introduce OpenStreetMap to new people, people new persons, and people's to sharing about the OpenStreetMap data set or something.
Mhm.
So if the developer knows OpenStreetMap way,
Mhm.
so my best friend become a good programmer for OpenStreetMap.
Mhm.
So so and she can so she also joined to United Nations OpenGIS 7 so to so same community and so so she makes collaborate
Mhm.
OpenStreetMap
Uh-huh.
and United Nations.
United Nation project
Yes.
and like okay, so like more like international
International.
event or programs
Yeah.
also. Okay, oh that sounds
So,
good.
so to keep the introduce the OpenStreetMap is my best way.
Mm-hmm. Okay, okay, thank you. Okay, and Dennis.
Okay. We have so many contributors, even though they, after the COVID-19, they not that frequently come up and show up in the meetup. So for our part, we will focus on developing online engagement and doing some like OpenStreetMap wiki documenting and make sure that maybe events log or some back address or something that is all right down. And if someone has some interest, they can go to the OSM wiki to have a look, and then they can decide what is the most valuable part to go continue going.
So for us in the Philippines, I think what could I could think of is that since we organize the local event is an mapa, so I think if the volunteers or the OpenStreetMap community have been encouraged to join that kind of event so that they can also engage with other volunteers from other areas. So it has become a safe space and an enjoyable space for us to interact and also learn from each other. I also want to commend State of the Map because it's also an annual event that provides opportunities for communities like us in terms of travel grant programs so that we can join those kinds of international conference and showcase also what we are currently doing in our local communities. I think those were the best practices that I hope we could also see in other local communities.
Okay, thank you. Okay, and lastly, I think the last topic we have is what's the each speaker's thought about the future of OpenStreetMap, and is there any topics to focus on or regarding outreach for each community?
Yeah. So I think so technology. So I'm a developer. So I focus on development things. So I think the vector type and new map library vector map library type format will be changed the player
Mm.
and OpenStreetMap and with OpenStreetMap and because so so currently so current vector type technologies related of Mapbox features.
Mapbox.
Mapbox,
Uh-huh.
yes, but MapLibre is independent so format. JPEG is independent format, and the feature is the speedy and too faster and than Mapbox vector type format, and
Okay.
so and yeah,
So,
so
like,
it is the means decrease cost and to
like lower
serve-
cost
serve-
for.
serve, time servers as so and PM time technology is is the good collaboration so to new vector types so MapLibre type format and I think we can so easy to host own type server own there, so
Independent
so
server.
so in Japan, so we host the OpenStreetMap data tile server, but each community can host their
Different servers.
different servers.
Different servers.
So it
Okay.
is decrease host to serving.
Uh-huh.
So and so
Mhm.
and it able to change the player.
Mhm.
Yeah. So
Okay.
because in now so it is yeah so the serving cost is very high.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
So but the decrease the serving cost is changing the players.
Okay.
Yeah.
Uh,
That is my I imagine what's happened in future.
okay. So you think in the future, if the cost is lower, it will help with the development of.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Thank you.
Okay. For for my thoughts that I think OpenStreetMap is quite right because we always, in every situation, we will have to have a commercial alternate solution for geodata. I think that is still OpenStreetMap. Maybe OpenStreetMap can be a commercial alternate, but right now it's still OpenStreetMap. And but if you want to have more engagement in the Asia Pacific, maybe we'll have to increase. Maybe we'll have to change the OpenStreetMap infrastructure because right now the CJK support for language part is not good, and there's more Western techno aspect of this topic. If you want to have more engagement, especially in Japan, Korea, or Taiwan, China, maybe you have to at least fix to have the address can be searchable in these Chinese, Japanese, or Korean address. And I think for Nicole, that he's one of the Asia hubs leader that I think is providing some training support for many mappers around this area is very good way, good act. But unfortunately, that our local mappers they are in their own step. So they even thought it's possible to log in to have a take a lesson or listen or learn from them. It's still quite hard to convince them to take a lesson from the AP part training courses.
So instead of projecting the future, I will just make a wish, and the wish is as I just echo what Dennis said. If only the CJK support gets improved, then hopefully there will be more people start using OpenStreetMap, and therefore more people getting into
For me, I think I hope the OpenStreetMap community, of course, it's more diverse, more inclusive, but also in terms of active developers, it also increase. And in terms of collaboration, engagement with other partners, I hope in the future more governments recognize the benefits of OpenStreetMap and recognize also what open data can provide.
Okay, thank you. Okay, so that's all for our topics for today. So any questions from the audience about any topics for our speakers today? Yes, please.
How do you all feel about global NGOs and how they consume open map data, like community built open map data? What could they do better, the NGOs?
Non-government.
So, in my experience, we've had a lot of collaborations also with international or local organizations or NGOs. But I hope, aside from the financial support, I think the sustained support that they provide to the community remain or increase more. Because what happens is that after the project, it becomes more stagnant. But if they continue providing support with the local communities, then that would mean also a sustainable future.
When I worked at Ushihidi, it felt like the NGOs wanted to take data from communities and then
Yeah.
finished and then died. Yeah.
Okay, for my part, that I have to remind everybody the OpenStreetMap Foundation also NGO. And even though they are very low in their manpower and funding, but they have the ability to found something like the scholarship for state analysis or or maybe in the future they can increase the budget, sponsor more, spend more money on the technical part, or sponsor more events. Right now it's only StreetMap itself and also for the scholarship for these StreetMap attendees. And for Taiwan itself, we are not part of the UN for quite a long time. So we had to do many things just by ourselves. And most of the time, sometimes we have some collaboration with the local NGOs. For example, that in the early days of OpenStreetMap Taiwan, that we had a drinking map project that collaborate when one of the environment protection NGO, that is Taiwan Information Ecological Societies, that we contribute to adding drinking water fountains around Taiwan. That is an early example of this part. And we continue going on, even though it's not through that specific environment NGO, because they have different projects going on. They forgot this project. Even though the website is still going, still running, but no maintenance more. About the NGO.
Other question.
OpenStreetMap Foundation Japan is NGO in Japan.
日本語でも多分日本語でも大丈夫です。通訳します。どういうふうに回答し、対応しにくいという。
対応しにくい。
はい、
オープンスティーファンデーションジャパンが、窓口になっているっていうのをちょっと説明したかったです。窓口となって説明してます。回答をするようにしてますっていう。そういうふうにして、ちょっと NGO なんかいろんな団体が来ても大丈夫なようにしてるっていう。今ちょっとそういうコミュニティにあまりこう直接ダイレクトに渡さないで、一枚バリアを張る。
でも全てのその要求に対応はできないという。So Taro-san is saying that when the different NGOs contact OSM community in Japan, they have the foundation in Japan as a main window or as a main contact point for these questions, but they don't really reflect this question to the community. Well, sometimes I guess it's more complicated. I guess maybe because of information. Is it 質問自体に、お金にかかるというその利益プロフィットの関係ですか、それとも技術的な問題ですか、それともいろいろ両方profit related problems and also technical. There's a lot of different levels of questions or requests made by the other organizations, but maybe it's the way that the foundation is working in Japan, but the how this system is working is not. They can most of these questions cannot be reflected or be handled by the community, or not really well communicated in between. So yeah, of different level issues. Yeah. Okay. Any other questions or comments? Yes, please.
Are there any mapping parties in Taiwan?
For Taiwan, we had last time we had a mapping party is collaborating with Wikidata communities. That we got some funding from Wikimedia foundations to sponsor us to buy two first 6.1 Proxy 0 cameras to taking photos to upload to the mappery. Then later on we can map it on OpenStreetMap and also adding some stuff on Wikipedia. And I think it's half a year ago, so right now we only have regular meetup. Maybe we can plan the next mapping party.
So maybe I can make a suggestion to Dennis. That is, next time maybe we consider doing an every door party. You know, it has even lower barrier of entrance.
Just
and has
install that, then everyone else like.
yeah, and also we maybe can target certain groups of people, as I mentioned earlier, like the handicapped group who don't even know the existence of OpenStreetMap. That's just one example, top of my head. But I believe there are many different niche groups and NGOs who don't necessarily know about this project, but they would benefit a lot. And also they would be very willing to contribute their information. I mean, if those people know that when every handicapped person or every person who has a handicapped friend or relative, if they contribute to the information, then everyone will benefit and they will have very good motivation for contributing. I think that's something we haven't explored yet.
Oh, I forgot that we have held a mapping party in CKU with the help from Tom Taiwan. To teach the students to learn about OpenStreetMap because there are more geological background students have an idea what is OpenStreetMap. But that is for the students. It's home and during the weekdays, so not for every ordinary weekdays.
Okay.
Any other questions or comments?
By the way, how often are what's the frequency that the mapping parties are held in Taiwan or in Taipei? Or
We have a monthly meetup. I don't count it as mapping party because we have to go to survey, go to outside to survey. So
okay.
Right now we just in planning period. So right now we are planning the next mapping party.
Okay. So yeah, if you're interested, maybe you can check the or I think there's a homepage, right? OSM Taiwan, OpenStreetMap.
Yeah. OSM wiki page. Will describe the frequencies. Where to look for the
There's some.
information. And the next meetup will be Monday.
Yeah, every Monday every month.
Around,
Yeah.
you can come here.
Okay.
Monday.
In Taipei, right? Taipei City. Yeah.
And the famous Guanghua digital market.
Yeah. Okay. So okay. Any other questions?
I think we just have
Yeah.
1 minute.
Or okay. All right.
So maybe you have quick questions and then have a quick answer.
If,
Any comments?
or yeah, anything. Okay. Yeah. If no, then I guess that's all for this discussion panel. And thank you for joining. And let's give a round of applause to the speakers. Okay. Thanks everyone. Okay. 好，谢谢。好，就。
here in the morning. I was working on like a private search engine, integrating media into our knowledge graph. A lot of traffic integration. Right now we're running into issues with like importing that data into our MySQL database.